Hi there, it's Bev from Bev's Bells, and I'm here to do another workout today for you with some kettlebells. Here's the whiteboard in case you'd like to jot this down or follow along. You've got a cold workout today. It is cold. The last couple of days or so it's been getting much colder. So we've got, using that acronym, got cleans times 10, overhead squat, leg sweeps, and a deficit deadlift, all 10 reps total. I'll just leave this here in the corner. Hopefully you'll be able to see it and follow along, otherwise jot it down. We're going to just start with a quick body weight only warm up, and then from there obviously we'll warm up with some kettlebells. Some of these exercises are a little bit, well, I'd say advanced, so you probably wouldn't want to try anything like the overhead squat unless you've actually been able to complete a squat just with body weight, and then obviously added weight properly with knee alignment, upper torso upright, no pain in the hips and knees, ankles, and eventually you're also progressing with presses, so you'll be able to press overhead for at least 30 seconds in proper alignment, so wrist, elbow, shoulder, the glenoid. So the big humerus bone is packed down into the glenoid socket nice and deep, and we'll do a little bit of warm-up just to emphasize that, but if you haven't already done something like an overhead press, I wouldn't recommend it for today. Just do your overhead squat. Then I wouldn't recommend you do that today. Regular squat is more than enough. So we'll start with just some chin tucks down, and then looking up, tucking down, looking up. I do have some how-to videos on basic kettlebell moves such as the swing, clean, and snatch, which is more advanced, windmill, and tips and tricks on how to adapt, progress, and regress, looking left and right. So use your common sense and don't take on an exercise that you're not ready for. You're not going to win that battle and potentially really injure yourself. Sweeping left and right. You'll be able to get to it eventually. I've been using kettlebells and swinging since 2013, and it takes years sometimes to get to a point where you're competent enough to tackle the more advanced moves, the combination moves, moves that require a lot of overhead shoulder stability, core strength. All this takes time. So don't rush it. It's a marathon. It's not a race. All right, good. I'm just going to grab a band. You can use your band to just warm up your shoulders even more, just doing some sweeps. So focusing on sweeping forwards and backwards. So this for me is quite a challenge with my right shoulder. Still dealing with some residual issues, so it's quite painful for me to do this. So I might, in the workout, actually end up not doing an overhead squat on the right side, but only on the left. We'll see. I might just do something with a lower weight as well. Good. And then just taking this band and doing some side dips, using your oblique muscles and your core in general, so that corset that's wrapped around the front and back, to lower with control, come back, breathing in and up, breathing in then stir the pot a bit. Again, this is not so comfortable for this shoulder. It's quite painful. So I'll just do a little bit and I'll show you more on the other side. Stay down, stir the pot. Good. And the other direction. Good. And up. Perfect. Just put that aside. Just going to go down on the floor. Do some cat-cow, which is great for the spine. So making sure that your knees are under your hips and your shoulders, elbows and wrists are in line, and you're going to tuck your chin, breathing in, curl vertebrae by vertebrae all the way up and arch your upper back. Really press into your hands, and then breathing out, do the reverse, so sink your chest. And make sure that you put your shoulders in your back pocket, so back. And reaching up with your chin and arching. And then just keep slowly articulating your spine both ways. You might hear a crunch or two. Good. This feels really good. Nice warm up for the spine. One more. And then we're going to just do some warm up for our thoracic spine a bit more, so externally rotating and tucking in, just to more emulate the movement pattern that we're going to be doing for the overhead squat. So you take one hand to your knee, the other to your ear, and you're aiming to get your elbow to the instep of your foot, and then breathing out, twisting the thoracic spine so that the elbow is pointed towards the ceiling as much as you can. Breathing in to lower, breathing out. Oh, there. One more. Then while we're on this side, we'll just do some hamstring hip flexor. So making sure that your knee and ankle are in line. You're just going to start in this position and lunge. So lunging for the back hip flexor, and then pushing forwards or backwards, I guess, so that your front leg, you're stretching your hamstring, and then just switching back and forth, doing that dynamic stretching that we need to do before a workout. If you want to put something under your knee, perhaps because it's a little, the floor is too hard. This mat doesn't give me a lot of cushion. There, and then we'll repeat the whole thing again on the other side. So switching sides, switching knees. Knee above the ankle, nice wide stance. Again, hand to ear, aiming your elbow to the instep of the other foot, and then twisting an elbow to the ceiling and lower. Twist up and lower the elbow down and twist up and keep going. really warming up that spine. Ooh, there's a big crunch. Wow. It was like a pop. Good. And now we're going to do the same hamstring hip flexor on this side. So hip flexor, hamstring, I'll back up a bit. Hamstring and hip flexor and hamstring. There. Good. Do a little something for the ankles as well and calves, because we're doing squats and we really want to make sure ankles, knees, and hips are nicely warmed up. While we're down here, we can also do some hip circles on all fours. So again, quadruped, right? Making sure your hips and knees are in line, and you're just going to tuck in, using your glute to lift your leg, making sure that your heel is pressing towards the ceiling, wanting to do nice big circles, warm up the hips, and then reverse, nice big circles. And then the other side. Try and keep your weight evenly distributed between both hands, even though you feel like you want to lean more on the side that is where the knee is down on the ground. But you have to engage your core to keep that level and evenly distributed between both hands. So belly button in, glutes tight. There. Now we'll just do a little something for our ankles and calves, and our tibias. Oh my gosh, my brain is tibias anterior. My brain is foggy this morning. Maybe it's emulating the weather. So bending the knee, making sure that you try and bring your knee towards your toe. A lot of dorsiflexion there. And then when you straighten your leg, you're stretching out your calf muscle, your gastrocnemius in the back, pressing the heel into the ground. And again, just changing this slowly between the two moves, the two stretches. Excuse me. There we go. And then we'll switch sides. Same thing again, pressing the heel down, straight leg, stretching out the back in your calf, and then bending the knee, slightly leaning forwards, making sure that you're tracking that knee over the middle of the foot and pressing the knee towards the toes, getting more of a stretch really down here, as well as obviously anterior tibialis here in the front, right? So it's quite a nice stretch, and we need a lot of good mobility in the ankles, knees, hips for doing those squats as well. We've got our deficit deadlifts, lower body exercise. We've got a good core exercise in there with the leg sweeps, and your cleans or your ballistic or explosive exercise. All right, so just gonna place this down. This is not a timed workout, so you do it at your own pace. I'm thinking I'll probably do, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 rounds, something like that, something simple, and you can do as many rounds as you feel you have energy for and time for. Not too sure how much energy I have to take. So we'll see how it goes. But regardless, making sure that you're always doing the movements in a safe manner with weight that you can handle. And if you start to feel like anything overhead is starting to waver, then I would, well, first of all, stop. Think about using a lighter weight, or just taking more time in between the exercises and the sets, so that you feel as strong as you can with something overhead, especially, which can be, well, you could really hurt your shoulder, your rotator cuff. I mean, if you lose it. So, all right. So I'm just going to get rid of the mat, and then we're going to warm up a little bit with a lightweight kettlebell, and then we'll get started. So, let's start with our halos or our sweeps. So pelvic tilt under, posterior tilt right, core is braced, belly button sucked in, and touching the shoulder blades, just brushing them gently. The aim is to get your chest open, your shoulders nice and mobile. This is a good warm-up exercise to do when you have anything overhead, especially. There's also the arm bar, which actually I can demonstrate on the floor. It's a good one especially for overhead. Another good exercise that you can do as a warm-up for overhead is to take a bell, press it overhead, and march around the room for like 30 seconds on each side, really preparing that shoulder for the work it's going to be doing for an overhead squat, for example, making sure that you pack the shoulder so that the humerus bone is in the glenoid socket. It's nice and solid in there. And you've got your wrist, elbow, shoulder all in line, close to your ear. That's a good warm-up as well. But I'll just do the arm bar, just since I was mentioning it. And this is not about using heavy weight. What it is about is using a weight that is just warming up the muscles and getting the movement pattern. So one leg is out to a sort of V, the other knee is bent, same arm that's overhead, the other arm out to the side, and your head's down. And you're going to internally rotate the shoulder as you lift the hip to parallel, basically. So you're just on the side of your body, and then you're externally rotating it to come down, and you're watching the bell at all times while it's over your face, because you want to be able to react if something goes wrong, and you want to be able to see it. So breathing in and breathing out. And again, this is not a heavy weight. We're just training the body on how to do this internal external rotation of the shoulder with weight overhead in a safe manner before we begin the workout. And then taking the bell carefully, do not pass it over your face, and repeat the same process on the other side. So press it up, arm out, there, internally rotating, watching the bell, externally rotating, internally rotating, externally rotating, and lower. And really exaggerate that motion, that movement, training the body. Keep the shoulder in the socket. Repetition is good for this. And last one. And lowering safely to the side, getting up, All right, so I'm not going to go into great big detail about all these exercises. I have a video on the clean, but I will demonstrate them quickly just ahead of the workout. So not the clean, but the overhead squat I'll demonstrate with a lighter weight again. So you're pressing your bell overhead. You're going to bend the knees first, watching the bell overhead at all times. You're going to slide that hand down the thigh. If you can reach the floor, great. If not, just maybe park a bell on the instep and use that as a landing pad, something that you can aim for. So breathing in to lower, breathing out to come up. See how you're internally rotating the shoulder, externally rotating it to come up. So that's your overhead squat. Again, if you're not advanced enough for this, I would rack it and just do your squat, right? Making sure your knees are tracking over the middle of your feet, right? And then for the leg sweeps, you're down on the floor and you have a kettlebell pressed overhead with two hands, like this. Your knees are at 90, and you're just going to sweep as close to the floor as you can with both legs. So breathing in, breathing out. Oh, it's actually easier with a heavier weight because your counterbalance is heavier, so it's harder with a lighter weight. Now, if you're really advanced in your core, you can straighten your legs so you would have legs straight up like this, and using the hand weight, lowering the legs so you'd have your weight above. And that's also very challenging. I will try both, of course, during the workout. And your deficit deadlift. Deficit is defined as something below the toes in this case. So your toes are over the edge of the step or the platform. You've got your chest out, shoulders away from your ears. It's a deadlift, so hip hinge, bum back first, pick up the weight, and lower, breathing in. It's as below the toes here. You can tap the floor, but don't jar it, don't slam it down. And place it down carefully. That's your deficit deadlift. Okay, so I'm gonna I suspect that with the overhead squat, I will be using a 10. And that is totally fine with me. Do not want to hurt myself. So I have an 8 here, I have a 10, 12, and this is an 18 for the deficit deadlift. You can use whatever weight you want. It would be more challenging with 2, but you could do it. You just have to use one in each hand. A little more awkward, I think. All right, so we're gonna start the workout, and let's see where we're at. So we're gonna do 10 clean, so it's a total of 10 clean. And then, oops, I think I'm gonna just move this over here. There we go. It's inside the video. All right, and we're gonna do our 10 cleans. So 10 on each side, 5 on each side, so it's lower reps. You could technically use a heavier weight, 4, 5. Speed switch there. 5, 4, 3, big hip snap, weights in the heels, 2, last one. Now, we'll see if I can do it with a 12 on this side, I'm not too sure. So you're pressing it overhead, and I might not go that low. Yeah, I'm just gonna go that low. So 5, breathing in, and breathing out. Breathing in, Oh, I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, that's challenging on this side. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go to a 10 on that side. Shoulder is still not feeling great. So here I can go right to the floor. Breathing, internally rotating, externally rotating to come up. Knees bending first. And last one. Watching the bell overhead. So now we're into our leg sweeps. Let's see here. Probably do it this way. So you're gonna lower down onto the floor. I might not be completely in the video, but we'll see. I'm gonna press the 12 overhead, knees at 90, and you're gonna lower as low as you can. So it's 5 each side. Breathing in, breathing out. Everything's nice and tense. That's 2 each side. Try to keep the bell straight overhead. 3. And that's 4. Last one. Next time I think I might try doing it with straight legs and see how I do. All right, so now we're going to do our 10 deficit deadlifts. So toes again over the edge, shoulders away from the ears, chest out, bum back first, nice firm grip. Tap the floor. 1, 2, 3. You'll feel a pull in the hamstrings. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one. 10. Good. All right. Round 1 done. Excellent. So it's up to you on how many rounds you'd like to do. Just going to grab my 14, just back here for this the cleans, because 5 on each side is not a lot. Okay, ready for round 2. So 5 clean on each side, big back swing, snap the hips. 4, last 5, swing switch. 2, 3, 4, last 5. Placing the bell down using your legs here. I'm going to grab the 10 for the right arm. For the overhead squat. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that's better. Okay, good. I'll just move this out of the way. Using the 12, clean it up, press, and 5. Watching the bell at all times, weights in the heels. 4, breathing in to lower. 3, core and glute is tight. 4, 2, last 1. All right, leg sweeps. Here we go. Okay, so I said I would try the other way. So, got myself into a little bit of a corner here. Just gonna move the bells out of the way. And I will try to do with straight legs. We shall see. Two. Oh yeah, that's much more challenging. Good. Definitely weaker on that side. That's 3 each side. Yeah, I'm definitely weak on that side. 5. Oh, that's amazing how much of a difference there is on one side versus the other. But that is all part of recovery, because I was quite sick this summer for months, and now I can see where I need to do some work. All right, so deficit deadlifts, 10. Glutes tight, core is pulled in, chest out, shoulders away from the ears, breathing into lower. 1. 2. Head and neck are in line with their spine all the way down to your tailbone. 3. 4. 5. 6. Nice firm grip. 7. 8. Almost there. 9. Last one. Placing the bell down using your legs. And that's round 2. Excellent. So we will do another round for sure. And you of course can do this at any pace that you want, provided of course, you know, the heavier the weight, the more time you're going to take to recover in between exercises and sets. So we're going to start with our cleans again. I'm going to use my 14. And so making sure you have that nice triangle to start with. Clean it off the ground. Ready? And 5, 4, 3. Using that free arm. 2, 1. Speed switch. And 5, and 4, and 3, and 2. Last one. Placing the bell down carefully. Just going to move it over here. And I'm going to pick up my 10 for the right side. Overhead squats. All right. Watching the bell. Nice stance. Bend those knees. Reaching the hand down the thigh. Internally rotating to lower. Externally rotating to come up. That's 2. Breathing in. Breathing out. 3. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more. Yep, that's definitely my maximum on that side. Whew. Yes. So, left side. Again, making sure knees tracking over middle of the foot, lowering Watching the bell overhead. Coming up again. Lowering. Everything's nice and tight. It's 3, 4, 5. Awesome. Now we're going to do our leg sweeps. Okay. Yeah, this should be good. Okay. So, let's do this again. Oh, why do I have so much trouble on that side? I have no idea. That's 2. That's 3. Whoa, I almost lost it. 4. Oh. 5. Bend the knees. Place the kettlebell down safely. All right. And your deficit deadlifts again. So nice form. Making sure everything's nice and safe. Moving the toes over the edge. Far enough that you can bypass the platform and not hit it when you're going down. Nice firm grip. 2, 3, 4, 5. Come back first. 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one. Good job. All right, that's round 3. Excellent. Good job, everybody. That's good. And making sure that you pace yourself again so that you have enough time to recover in between each set. Towel off. Don't forget to hydrate. Turn on a fan. It is, like I said, cold out there today, and it's only going to get colder. We're just at the beginning, not even, well, winter is December 21st, and we're not quite there yet. We're on the 14th, so and then of course, January and February here can be very brutally cold with cold snaps. When I say cold, like in the minus 30s. Hopefully this year though, we will get a lot more snow. Last year was a real deficit of snow. It was terrible. We needed it. All right, so cleans. Round 4 starting. 5 on each side. Big hike. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last 5 and 5, 4, 3, 2. Last 1. Placing the bell down carefully, using your legs. Going to do your overhead squat. So, pressing it up, watching the bell at all times. Internally rotate the shoulder to lower. That's 1. Breathing in. That's 2. Breathing in. That's 3. Breathing in. That's 4. Breathing in. That's 5. Placing it down carefully. Grabbing the 12 for the other side. I'm going to just clean it up. Press 5 on this side. Internally rotating the shoulder. Breathing in, watching the bell at all times. That's 2. 3. 4. 5. Leg sweeps. All right. Round number 4. Just moving the bell out of the way there. Okay. So, scooch down, lower down, legs up. Here we go. Oh, sorry. I have to press it overhead. 1, 2. That's 1 on each side. 2, 2. 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. Good. Well, that felt a little better. But still, I have a long way to go. Okay. Get yourself set up properly, safely on the platform. Toes over the edge. Chest out, shoulders away from the ears, glutes tight, cores pulled in. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, tap the floor, breathing out. I think that's 5. That's 6. For argument's sake, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10. Sit down carefully, and that's set number 4, done. Yay, goodness gracious, that's awesome. So, we have one more to do, and then you're on your own. If you want to do additional, or you can just rewind this video and start again from the beginning, but keep adding on. Up to you. All right, so this is a day particularly cardio based, but it is a nice workout in the sense that you're getting some overhead, you're getting core, so you're doing your transverse, right? Plane of motion, transverse, the up and down, of course, sagittal, up and down, backwards and forwards. You're getting that with your deadlifts, your cleans, your leg sweeps side to side, a little bit more transverse because your trunk part of your body, half your body is stationary, the other part is moving. So definitely there. And frontal, which is side to side like this, right? So there's frontal with your sweeps as well. So we're getting all planes of motion, which is nice. The only thing I don't really have here is a balance, where you're on one leg, whether it's a step or single leg deadlift. It's always good to incorporate some balance as well. All right, so last round, 10 clean, 5 on each side, 2, snap those hips, 3, weights in the heels, 4, 5, 2, using that free arm, 3, 4, 5, placing the belt down carefully, grabbing my 10, pressing it up, using that hand down your thigh as a sort of a marker. Breathing in to lower, internally rotate the shoulder, externally rotating it to come up. That's 3, 4, 5. Good. Yeah, still a long way to go on the right side. Okay, so clean this up. Press it and watching the bell. Nice wide stance. Knees forward first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Leg sweeps. Let's do this. All right. So, lie down, pressing your legs up straight or 90 so that the hips and knees are in line. I'll go for my straight legs. 1. And you don't want to use momentum for this. You want to have control over the lowering and the raising of the feet back to center. That's 2 each side. Because it's all about using your core, especially your obliques. Squeeze the thighs together. That's 3. Keeping the bell straight up overhead. Because if you were to move it to the opposite side of where your legs are sweeping to, that's 5. Speeding, essentially. All right. And then your deficit. Last time. So picking it up carefully, placing your toes over the edge, shoulders away from the ears. I can't say this enough. Into the back pocket, chest out. Glutes are tight, core is pulled in. Bum back first. Tap the floor. 10. Breathing in. 9. Breathing in. Breathing out. 8. Weights in the heels. 7. 6. Looking at the floor, looking at the wall. 5. 4. 3. 2. Last one. Nice. Placing it down using your legs and glutes. And that was 5 rounds. Excellent. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hopefully this was a workout that you felt gave you maybe some feedback like me with leg sweeps, where I know I'm definitely weaker on one side. My overhead squat, same thing on the right. You felt accomplishment. I'm trying not to set you up for defeat as well. So again, overhead squat's not in your repertoire. Don't do it. Do a two-handed squat if you need to. Start something simple, even an air squat with no weight. Use your brain and do it safely. You will eventually get there if you persevere. So take care. I'll see you again soon. Thank you.